Hello, my friends. Thank you for trusting my channel and supporting Ukraine. Today, I want to share with you recent important things that happened in Ukraine and probably didn't go to an international news department. And I'll support the news with my short comments, my thoughts. Now you're welcome to take your cup of coffee or tea, sit comfortable, and listen or watch. The first news is that the Russian Nazi occupiers on April 14th attacked police vehicles in Bereslav and Kherson with drones. So the police of Kherson region reported on Facebook. Let me show you where are these cities located. So Kherson is a kind of main region in Kherson Oblast or in Kherson district, and Bereslav is here. So you can see this green area, it's controlled by Ukraine government, and red area is not under control of Ukrainian government. So Russian troops are located here during the along all front line. So you can see Korabel region is here. Korabel means like a kind of shipping region because ships were constructed here in Kherson previously. So Russians shoot it from this side to Kherson and to Bereslav Yeah, let me show you once again. It is here. So all this green area was occupied by Russians in 2022, but Ukrainian forces made them move to the east side of Dnipro River. In Kherson Oblast, in Korabel micro-district, which is the closest to Dnipro River and to the Russian troops, law enforcement officers' cars were attacked by AUV. For those who doesn't know, it's unmanned aerial vehicle. So it's a kind of drones. Two police officers were injured and the car was mechanically damaged. In Bereslav, two police cars came under fire from drone. As a result of dropping modified ammunition, one police officer was injured. Second news, Russian soldiers fired at enterprises in Bilopilya in the Sumy region. Let me show you where is Sumy region. It is northeast. See, this is Sumy region, and the main city is Sumy here, and here is Bilopilya. So as you can see, these green areas, it was occupied by Russians in 2022, but Ukrainian forces made Russians run away from Ukraine. So this red line is a border between Ukraine and Russia. So they shoot it once again to Bilopilya in Sumy region. It is known that on the April 15th in the morning, the occupiers shelled 5 territorial communities in Sumy region. The communities of Bilopilska, Veliko-Pisarivska, Yunakivska, and Znob-Novogrodska and Novoslobidska came under enemy fire. So they are scared to come to cross the border. They are just selling their shells across the border to Bilopilya and other areas in Sumy region. As you can see from the news, in particular, the invaders fired at Bilopil from the Grad anti-aircraft missile system, damaging the premises of one of the enterprises. One man was injured. He was hospitalized in a medical institution. Also, the territory of Bilopil community was shelled with mortars, 9 arrivals and 2 arrivals from self-propelled guns. This actions were recorded. The Russians released 15 mines on the territory of Velikopisarivska community and also attacked the Novohorodska community with barrel artillery. The enemy fired mortars and heavy artillery at Yunakivska Hromada. In addition, or Yunakivska area. In addition, the occupiers dropped 16 mines on the territory of Novoslobodska community. Let me show you this on the map so you can see once again Sumy, Bilopilya, Novohorodsk. You can see it everyone, but Krasnopilya, of course. The thing is that they are shooting like sometimes they are shooting just regular, just usual houses of the people, and sometimes they are shooting some military objects. So they are just shooting when they have enough missiles. Don't care about the real targets where they are shooting. Third news, for now, Russia is being on contract soldiers like Wagner. I mean, their army is based on contract soldiers like Wagner and regular branches and formations of the Russian army. But in the future, it can replenish losses with the help of Dodgers. For those who doesn't know, at this moment, Russia let men who didn't take part in the war leave the country. For those who don't agree with the war, Russia didn't close the border till these days. They let the guys leave the country. This way, Russian government pushed those who disagree outside of the country. But it seems there are not many people who still want to participate in the war, who can volunteer. So most Russians just want to have their war on their TV, but don't take part by themselves. So when I'm saying that many people who still want to participate in the war, they want just to see the war. They want to see on TV how Russian troops are occupying Ukraine. This gives them a lot of fun just for usual Russians. But the thing is that they don't want to go and fight by themselves. They want to have rest in Turkey, in Egypt. They want to make barbecues, to meet with women, but they don't want to go and fight to the front line. So these guys were just supporting verbally Russian government. Most Russians just want to have the war on their TV. And British intelligence has revealed why the Russian Federation has electronic sub-points. The Federation is preparing for a long war. So this is a kind of last instrument, of course, except nuclear weapon that Russians still have, because it seems China didn't support them massively with weapon. So what they have lots of people. For those who doesn't know, Russians have approximately 140 million citizens, and probably 40 of them are men who can fight, like, theoretically. So Russian can call millions of people to this war. And Russian authorities are launching electronic draft notices in preparation for a protracted war in Ukraine. The new measures are due to take effect after some time and do not indicate a new wave of mass forced mobilization in Russia. The military believes that the Russians are now focused on an increasing number of volunteer units, but electronic subpoenas could become a tool for additional recruitment of manpower in the fighting in Ukraine that they want to continue for a long time. But for my opinion, guys, that won't help them because they cannot equip this much of men without support of third countries. First of all, China. So if China will not support Russia, it doesn't matter how many men they have in Russia. They cannot equip them. They cannot give them ammunition, wear, feed, train, everything. So, meanwhile, reports appeared in the mass media that Russian citizens are already receiving the first electronic summons through the state services service. According to the published screenshot, one of the Russians was sent a corresponding online letter on April 14. It states that the employer received a demand for the conscript to appear at the military commissariat with a military ticket. On April 18, 2023, the State Duma of Russia, it's a kind of parliament of Russia, adopted a law on the creation of a single register of persons eligible for military service, and on April 14th, the document was signed by president of this terrorist state, Vladimir Putin. The main innovation will be that the data on conscripts will be connected to the state online services, through which summons will be sent digitally instead of by mail as before. So previously they received these mails by usual post service, but because many people live in other places than registered, it was a kind of useless. So evaders will be punished, depriving them of the opportunity to officially get a job or go abroad. There was information that Vladimir Putin signed the law on the introduction of electronic subpoenas due to the mass departure of Russians abroad. According to the source, the scale of immigration personally affected the president, as the country had not known such immigration since the collapse of the USSR. The first news: there are already 34 countries in the group regarding the creation of a special tribunal for the crime of aggression against the Russian Federation. During our phone conversation, Foreign Minister Arnoldo Tinoco of Costa Rica informed Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba that Costa Rica has decided to join the core group regarding the special tribunal of the crime of aggression against Ukraine, bringing the total number of countries 34. By the way, the format of the special tribunal for Russia and its leaders is in the process of discussion. There are three of the considered highly likely: the creation of a special tribunal based on Ukrainians' agreement with the United Nations, with which the United Nations Secretary General will sign to implement the previously adopted resolution of the General Assembly. Secondly, a multilateral agreement on the creation of a tribunal between Ukraine and interested states. And thirdly, the so-called hybrid or internationalized tribunal. In the case of hybrid tribunal, it will be created within the framework of the legal system of Ukraine, But in everything else, this approach is flexible. This card can be created in Ukraine, in The Hague, or anywhere else in Europe. There can be Ukrainian judges and prosecutors together with international or a mix or just international. For Ukraine, the best option is not a hybrid, but a maximum international tribunal that will act on behalf of the international community. However, at the moment, the choice has not been made in favor of any of the scenarios. And in the end, the most important thing for us is that the tribunal will be created to try Russian top officials for the crime of aggression. The military units and the units of the naval forces of the armed forces of Ukraine as a part of groups continue to perform the tasks of repelling the full-scale armed aggression of the Russian Federation, and this is top 4. Yesterday, units of the Navy of the Armed Forces of Ukraine destroyed 42 invaders and 1 unit of automobile equipment. Over the past day, 460 Russian occupiers have been eliminated at the whole front line. The total combat losses of the enemy from February 24, 2022 to April 15, 2023 approximately amounted to personnel about 181,550 people, and which means together with 460 people that were liquidated during the last 24 hours, plus 3 tanks, and in total 3,653, plus 4 units of armored combat vehicles, and in total 7,073 units. Artillery systems, 2785, plus 1 unit during last 24 hours. RCZV, 535. Air defense equipment, 283. Aircraft, 307. Helicopters, 293. And manned aerial vehicle, UAV, 2339. Cruise missiles, 911. Ship and boats, 18. Automotive equipment and tank trucks, 5646, plus 6 units during last 24 hours. And special equipment, 324, plus 3 units during last day. I'm very grateful to everyone who watched this video till this moment. Thank you for supporting Ukraine and Ukrainians. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.